New Year's resolutions are great, aren't they? Like, next year is going to be the year that you get the thing that you want to do done. Maybe it's the year that you're going to get straight A's or the 99th percentile on the UCAT, a 99.95 ATAR. Maybe you're going to start a new marathon or a new diet or an exercise routine. Here's something for you to actually think about. The best time to start anything was yesterday, and the second best time to get started is always today. Hey guys, Archer here, first year medical student, and on this channel, we learn how to learn so that we can be more intentional with the time that we spend so we can focus it on the things that actually matter. There's about 1 week left until 2021 starts, so you might be thinking about the goals that you're thinking about to have for your New Year's resolution. This is a perfect time to actually take a step back and evaluate what 2020 has been for you and what you want 2021 to become. However, when you think about all the goals that you have for next year, there's actually no point in waiting until the magical January 1st to actually get started. In this video, we're going to be going through why you should actually start your New Year's resolution now, and then we'll take a look at how we can actually make these resolutions stick using the ABC model. So why should you really think about getting started now? So many people actually have this all or nothing mentality when it comes to starting a New Year's resolution in the next year. This happens every year, and I'm actually guilty of this myself. And everyone knows that these resolutions don't really last for that long either. By the end of the first week, even 25% of New Year's resolutions have already been abandoned because they've lost that spark. And even by the time the year ends, there's fewer than 10% of resolutions that actually continue to last. You already knew this was coming as a reason why you should get started now. If you're waiting until the 1st of January to start your new resolution, you're just procrastinating from getting started anyway. It really doesn't help you out that much either, because it's actually going to set you up for failure in 2021. You're going to be delaying the time with actually dealing with the challenges that are associated with your resolution. And really you could be dealing with them right now in 2020, in this last month that we have before the big 1st of January actually comes. Let's go through an example. So you might say that you want to be a better student next year and scoring higher grades, maybe being a straight A student. If we break that down, basically you might be looking at things like Anki flashcards and active recall and spaced repetition, let's say. To do this, you want to take a look at the actual science, maybe into the neuroscience, learning psychology, and what it actually says is the best way to currently be studying. And in reality, it's more than flashcards, it's more than active recall and spaced repetition. Those are just small bits of the whole picture of how we can actually go about learning better. And as you expect, as you start to get better with this and adopt these new techniques, there are going to be challenges that you face with trying this really new method. And if you start now, you've got maybe, let's say, a week to test it out before the 1st of January comes. And that brings me to our next point. Why wouldn't you want to give yourself a head start with these New Year's resolutions? Pretty much this just means you'll be able to handle your New Year's resolution in a very approachable way where you're able to go bit by bit by bit. Too often do people try and change their whole life in an instant when the 1st of January comes, like trying a new sleeping habit, morning and night routines, exercise routines, and anything above. Also, if you get started now, you're more likely to keep it going just because you made the decision yourself to get started right now. And this is because you haven't thought about those social expectations and pressures that are associated with the 1st of January. This way you'll stay more accountable to the goal that you set for yourself, and it'll be easier to achieve because you've made a decision which is actually in line with your core values and personal aspirations. Essentially, for you to get started today, that requires a mindset shift. And that's a lot of effort that you have to go on thinking about, and that will be able to drive you for longer throughout 2021. All right, let's take a look at the ABC model and how that's going to help us in keeping up our New Year's resolutions. Number 1, aim for consistency. It's known for a fact that we don't work like light switches. We can't go from 0 to 100 in less than a second and keep at that high intensity for a really long time. You can't expect to go from being a B student throughout the whole year and then do one little thing and then next minute you're going to be an A student immediately. That won't happen even if you just take the new best study technique off the block and start using it religiously. And the same thing goes if you're wanting to run a marathon. You can't just go from sitting in your chair all day to running a marathon. Number 2, break it down. And when I say break it down, really think about breaking it down as much as you can into very achievable and small tasks. Take the time to think about all those little steps that go into making that habit. If you're thinking about exercising, make it easier for yourself to just get started with the exercising itself, because that's usually the biggest area for friction, or it's a barrier for you to actually get started. So for me, I like bringing the gym to me sometimes, and the ways I might do that is by keeping dumbbells in my room or using my door frame as a pull-up bar. It's nice and easy, and I actually do have a video that goes into a lot more detail around this whole thing about environment design on how we can keep our habits, and this actually allowed me to get a perfect GPA for my university subjects so far. So if you haven't seen it yet, make sure to go check it out. Number 3, calibrate regularly and give yourself some room for some changes. When you start this new goal, make sure to be kind to yourself and actually give yourself some room to think about if this habit is actually going to be something that you want to keep up. Sometimes you'll make the challenge for yourself too difficult for you to actually even get started, and that's something that you need to probably dial down back or even think about getting rid of the habit completely. You might have actually found that you've made a resolution that has absolutely no meaning to you at all, and you just did it out of the, all of the spark of January 1st. When you have these doubtful moments, make sure to take a step back and actually think about what you're trying to do. And if it's something that you actually want to keep up doing, think about using SMART goals. Goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And if it isn't something for you, just drop it so you can take away that burden from your life. If you're really worried about having to drop a resolution that you do set for yourself on the 1st of January and tell everyone about, you've got this time now, this week, to practice it. So it's really a good opportunity right now to give it a shot. For students, making SMART goals is so important because there are always those challenges that come up on a daily and weekly basis. I've just made a video about the UCAT and how you can prepare for that in these holidays to make sure that you get it right in 2021. And I've made a lot more videos on how we can go about studying better as well, and lifestyle videos. All right, hopefully you found this video useful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.